Boo-hoo, get over it. That was this NDP Liberal government's response to serious questions about members of this House cooperating with hostile foreign powers. The Prime Minister was briefed on the threat of foreign interference for years, since at least 2020, and he did nothing. It's time for him to name names listed in the foreign interference report. Who are they? Will the Prime Minister do the right thing and reveal whether any of his cabinet ministers are on that list?
Conservative members know what actually happened in committee that day, but when it comes to foreign interference, this is something we take incredibly seriously. It's something we have taken seriously since we formed government, something that unfortunately Mr. Harper's government did not do. We have put in place measures like the NSICOP committee. We are currently debating C-70 in committee, which will bring forward more provisions to help strengthen our democratic institutions. I hope Conservatives will stop playing political games and instead focus on resilience in our democratic institutions.
The honourable member.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the surest way to have resilience is to also have transparency, and that is not a credible answer. Our sovereignty is at stake. Our first duty is to Canada. There is only one acceptable answer, and it's not to tell Canadians, boo-hoo, get over it. That's unserious, unhinged, in fact. It further proves that this corrupt government is unfit to lead this country. Can someone, anyone over there, stand up and tell Canadians today the names of the MPs working against Canada? We're waiting.
Speaker, that member knows full well that we do not share secret and highly confidential intelligence on the floor of the House of Commons. And I would simply point out the series of measures, beginning with the creation of NSICOP, and the series of other measures that have been put in place by this government over the past years to combat foreign interference, a problem that countries around the world are dealing with. This is a problem that is being confronted extremely seriously by this government and not in a partisan way.
Hear, hear. The honourable
Mr. Speaker, Canadians are sick of secret meetings and secret outcomes. This is foreign interference at an unprecedented level. Canadians deserve answers and clarity. This corrupt NDP Liberal government's lack of political courage in the face of hostile foreign actors is a disgrace. Yesterday, we honored our D-Day heroes, soldiers who stormed beaches under fire and died for our freedoms. The least we can do to honor them and their memories is to stand up for Canada. Come clean, release the names, at least tell us if they're sitting in your cabinet.
Mr. Speaker, we have always taken the issues of foreign interference seriously. This is precisely why we've implemented a number of measures in dealing with this. Mr. Speaker, what we've also done is ensured that leaders of the opposition, including the leader of the official opposition, is provided the clearance to review all of the documents unredacted so that he too has clarity on the national security elements of this information. Mr. Speaker, we are not going to politicize this. We are going to ensure that information that is of national security importance, that is dealt with in a secure manner.
Member for Louis Saint-Laurent. Mr. Speaker, foreign interference is a very serious matter. The report from the committee is clear. Here in this House, we have elected officials who were elected with the support of a hostile foreign state. People need to learn who those MPs are. They need to be identified. Because otherwise, we know that the situation won't be fixed. The Prime Minister could do something about this. When will he? The Honourable Government House Leader. Mr. Speaker, my colleague knows very well that this government has to respect our national secrets. These are serious national secrets. We will continue to do so. The member has not treated the measures that this government has brought in seriously enough. For example, the creation of the National Security Committee of Parliamentarians, which has reported on the situation. Countries around the world are facing this type of interference. Canada is a leader in this matter, and I think colleagues in the opposition should take the matter very seriously. The honourable member for Louis Saint-Laurent. Well, what would be properly serious would be if this government told us that which members were elected under foreign influence. Meanwhile, there's also the matter of crime. Over the last 9 years with this Liberal government, crime has gone up around the country, especially in urban centers. In Laval, crime has increased by 10%. In Montreal, 112,000 offenses last year. We're battling with the problem of crime, and criminals are ending up on home arrest instead of behind bars because of C5. And the Bloc Québécois also voted for C5. When will the government do something to actually make sure that criminals end up in prison, not relaxing at home? The Honourable Government House Leader, Mr. Speaker, this member knows perfectly well that our government has faced crime throughout the country with substantial reforms on crime. We will support our police forces, provinces, and municipalities. Who are doing a great deal to fight crimes like auto theft. We will not take lessons from the Conservative Party on this. They have no crime policy. We do. The Honourable Member for Salaberry-sur-Roi. Mr. Speaker, we've been told that members in this House are working for foreign powers, but yesterday at committee, a Liberal member told parliamentarians, boo-hoo, get over it. And then the Deputy Prime Minister on Wednesday refused to answer questions on this topic because she preferred to talk about the interest rates. Our democracy is under attack, but the Liberals are not acting like the adults in the room. We're all responsible that ensuring that members who are not working for their fellow citizens are shown the door. Will the Liberals finally take foreign interference seriously? Mr. Speaker, I'll repeat this for the Bloc Québécois. Once again, we've taken a number of measures to fight foreign interference. Many countries, France, the UK, the US, are all facing foreign interference. That's well documented. Canada has presented a broad series of measures on this matter, including the committee of parliamentarians that have studied it and have published a report. This government is facing up and taking responsibility, Mr. Speaker. The Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, as parliamentarians, we cannot be satisfied by what the Liberals have done. It's just not enough. Clearly, since MPs, we now know, are under foreign influence, and the Liberals shouldn't just try to shove the problem over to the RCMP. The RCMP has its hands tied because very often conniving in favor of foreign powers doesn't necessarily mean you committed a criminal offense, but it is disastrous for democracy. Will the Liberals pull themselves together, carry out some kind of inquiry on their end, and kick out any two-faced members within their ranks?
I appreciate the Bloc members on the committee who have been working hard and diligently with us in good faith on foreign interference. It's disappointing when conservative mischaracterization of meetings takes place. But, Mr. Speaker, what's most important is that we are working hard to ensure our democratic institutions are resilient, that we are combating foreign interference. This is not a partisan issue, Mr. Speaker, and it's why we've introduced a number of measures, including C-70, which we're working on committee, to strengthen our democratic.